Good morning. We will continue our lesson, chapter 4, lesson 1, congruent figures. And we said yesterday that how can we know that if this piece is, or if this shape is corresponding to the congruent shape. And we say also the difference between congruent and similar shapes, and we say that if we have these two triangles, we will say that the triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle DEF. How? How can I know that this triangle is congruent to the other triangle? By comparing, by checking each sides. As an example, I will check the first side here with the side with its corresponding sides. So I will say that AB is corresponds to DE, and also I will say that the side AC is corresponds to DF, and also I will is congruent to DF, and also the side BC is congruent to the EF. If their three sides are congruent, I will check now the angles. If the angles now, the angle A is congruent to angle D, the angle B is congruent to angle E, and the angle C is congruent to angle F. Don't forget, you have to check all the sides and all the angles, or the corresponding. Don't forget, it must be corresponding sides and all the corresponding angles, to check that if these two triangles are congruent or not. All of these things that we talked about yesterday. Now, and also we talked about this definition. What's the meaning of congruent polygons? Congruent polygons have congruent corresponding parts. It must have all these parts which are corresponding. All if these corresponding parts are congruent, I can say that the polygon is congruent. Yes?
Um, there is some girls didn't enter because they are working in Zoom.
Who cannot enter now?
Hi, Miss.
Hi.
Hi, Miss. I'm late because I have a problem with the computer.
Okay, there's nothing.
تيتشر الكل موجود.
Yes, now let's continue. So, so I can say that if the corresponding parts, it must be corresponding. And yesterday I told you what's the meaning of corresponding. If these corresponding parts are congruent, if all of the corresponding parts, all the sides and all the angles are congruent, I can say that the polygon is congruent. By matching all of the sides and all of the angles, I can say that these polygons are congruent. And we talked about this shape, yes, this polygon, this quadrilateral. We say that how it's all the sides, if all the sides are congruent, if all the angles are congruent, I can say that this shape is congruent. And we said also that if I have this one here, this sign, it's mean it's congruent. This sign, that's mean that angle, or as an example, side, or the segment AB is congruent to the segment PQ, as an example. This sign, that's mean congruent. Then let's find now this one here. For this one now here, I want now to find the congruent parts. How can we find the congruent parts? If I want now to find the congruent parts, I just check all the corresponding sides and all the corresponding angles. If they are equal or they are congruent, I can say that my shape is congruent. Look at me how now. The first step here now, let's use this one. I will draw now my first shape. It's come like this. Its name is, don't forget, you have to look at the order. H, I, J, K. So H, I, they start with, no, sorry.
Teacher,
Yes,
teacher, there are two Raneems. They're repeated.
wait, please. Raneem,
Yes, teacher.
you entered from Raneem.
Teacher.
Here you have two accounts for you.
Teacher. Teacher. Now I entered the meeting about 1 minute ago. 2 minutes. If someone enters by name.
Okay. name?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. I removed the other girl.
Okay, thank you.
And I know her.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ranim. Okay, let's continue now. So now, here now we have this, try this shape that its name is, look here now, start with L. Let's say, no, so it starts with H. He told me H, I, J, and K. Okay, H, I, J, and K. Now, for all of these now, as you see here now, they start with H, then I, then J, then K. If I want now to draw the second shape like this, okay, the second one, you have also now order the letters. Look here, L, M, and O. Where's L? As you see from here, L is here, so L, M, and O. These now the names of the shapes. Here, the first one, it was H-I-J-K, and the second one, it was L-M-N-O. Okay, now these two ones, I want now to, oh, he told me that these two shapes are congruent. I want now to write all the congruent sides and all the congruent angles. Now, so in this problem here, he told me that it's congruent. I didn't want to check. It's congruent by default. But I want now to check if all of the sides, or to write all the sides that are congruent. As I told you, I have to rewrite all of them, to rewrite them as of the same order. Now, as you see here, sorry, because today is the first day, I have to waste some minutes. Now, the first step, look at the first one here, HJ. That's congruent with ON. So I will say that line segment KJ is congruent to ON. Look, see here. I say KJ, so ON. The order, corresponding orders. The second one now, JI with NM. So I will say the line segment JI, that's corresponding with NM. And then also IH corresponding with ML. So I can say the line segments IH is corresponds with ML. And the last one here, I will say LO with HK. So the line segment LO is correspond with HK. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I will here, he told me that these are two shapes are congruent, but I want now to write the congruent parts. How? I redraw them. After I draw them, I will check all the sides. Now, did I finish? Yes, girl.
No, teacher, wait.
No. Did I finish? Or shall I continue?
Oh,
Continue.
no, we didn't.
No, we have to check also the angles. I told you that. Here we have how many sides? Here we have 4 sides. So since we have 4 sides, so I have to write 2 raised to the power 2n. 2n, that's mean I need how many elements?
8.
8 elements. Thank you. So since I need 8 elements, so I have 4 sides, so I have to write also the 4 angles. Let's now draw the angles here.
Teacher writes 2n.
Yes, Huda?
What's 2n?
It is our formula rule. That's the number of the elements is 2 times the number of the sides. Here, wait, please, please. After I continue, I will tell you what's the meaning of 2n. So after I wrote now all the sides, I have to write all the angles. Then I will say angle K is corresponds with angle O. And angle J is corresponds with angle N. As you see here. And angle I is corresponds with angle M. And also angle H.
Teacher,
Yes, please. Yes.
after k what?
Angle K is corresponds to angle O.
And the second one?
Angle J
Is j. Okay. Thanks.
you are welcome. So now angle J is corresponds to angle N, angle I is corresponds to angle M, and angle H is corresponds to angle L. So as you see here now, how many elements did I wrote? Who tell me how many elements?
8.
We have 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5,
4,
6, 7,
7,
and 8. So how many? So how many elements now?
8.
8.
We have 8 elements.
8.
8 elements. How can I know how many elements? By counting. How many sides did I have? How many sides?
4 sides.
4 sides.
4.
So because if I have 4 sides, I just multiply 4 by 2. I get 8. So I can say that I have 8 elements. That's mean 2 and Huda. Is it clear, Yahuda?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Now here, if the triangle WYS is congruent to the triangle MKV, what are the congruent corresponding parts? Here also, I have now the 2 triangles, and these 2 triangles, he told me that they are congruent. I want to write all the corresponding or all the congruent corresponding parts. As we did, the first step now, let's draw here a triangle. Here we have now these 2 triangles. Then, the second step. Here we have W, Y, S. Look at me. I start with here. W, Y, S. Don't forget my direction. W, Y, S. Here also I will say M, K, V. Is it clear? How can I draw them? How can I show the corresponding parts?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now, after that, they are corresponding. I want to write now all the elements. Now, who can tell me how many elements should I write? How many elements?
6.
6, thank you. I have to draw now or to write now 6 elements. Okay, then. Six elements. Let's start with the first one. WY, okay, is congruent to W, then Y. So M, then K. The second one, YS, the second line segment YS is congruent to KV. KV, sorry. The line segments KV. And also the line segments VM corresponds to SW. So now I wrote all of the sides. So we are sorry. We are now write all the elements that they are congruent. Then they are 3. I want now also to write the angles. So let's now write the angles. The first one, I will check angle W with angle M. So angle W is congruent to angle M. And angle S is congruent to the W angle V. Who's Hani?
Miss, I'm saying that they're saying to me that there is no limit time or limited time. Like
Okay, hold on. What's this? Sorry. By now, then. So angle S is congruent to angle V. Are we here? Yes, okay. So angle S with angle V and also angle Y with angle K. So angle S with angle. What's happened here? And also angle.
Y with angle K.
And angle Y will correspond is congruent to angle K. Then after that, after I know now the 6 elements. Why they are 6? Because I'm talking about triangle with 3 sides. So I have to write down 6 elements. Now, is it clear?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Now let's see problem 2. In problem 2 here now, also he told me that these two sides or two shapes are congruent, and I want now to use them. Why am I using them? To help me to find unknown parts. What does it mean? That means if I have as an example, this is square. If I have now this square or rectangle, so on, and another one also. Okay?
Teacher, your voice is so low. I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes?
Just
Yes,
miss your voice is low.
Voice is so low. I can't hear you well.
my voice is low.
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay. So now here I have these two shapes. If I name them A, B, C, and D, W, X, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay? Now, if I told you that these two shapes are congruent, so it helped me with, if this is the length of the side AB is 4, so what will be the length of the side WX?
4.
4. Why?
Because he told me it's
Because
congruent.
Yes, thank you. It's congruent.
Congruent.
Congruent, what's the meaning of congruent? It has the same size and the same
And shape.
shape. So same size. If here is 4, WX will be 4. And if here is a 3, down it will be 3. If here is 8, they are 8. 7, 7, and so on for the sides and also for the angles. What does it mean? That means if, as an example, this angle here is 40 degree, down it will be 40 degree, 50 degree, 50 degree, and so on. So congruent, same sides, same angles. Now let's see here now how these things help me to find the unknown angle. The wings on the SR-71 Blackbird aircraft suggest congruent triangles. What is the measure of angle D? Okay, here now, as you see, look at this aircraft here. Here now we have two triangles, and he told me that the triangle ABC, A, B, and C is congruent to the triangle E, F, and D. And he told me that this angle is 30, and this angle also is 30 because they are congruent. He asked me now, and he told me that the angle C is 75. What about the angle D?
It is also 75.
It will be also 75. Thank you. Since now the angle B, the measure of angle B is equal the measure of angle E, and since also these are given, and since also the triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle ABC, so FED, So I can say that the measure of the angle C is, before that, the measure of angle C, since it's congruent with the measure of the angle D, without writing word measure, okay, just, no, sorry. Since now, and the angle C is congruent with the angle D, so because of that, I can say that the measure of angle C is equal to the measure of angle D, which is equal 75 degrees. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I think after 1 minute, it has to stop.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
I didn't understand it.
Okay, I will repeat for you quickly because I have 1 minute left. Look
No,
here now.
teacher,
Yes.
a notification came and it said that the meeting has unlimited time now.
Yes, me too.
So it will not end.
Inshallah, I will. Yeah, let's continue until 45. Okay? If it stops, it's not from me. Deal?
Deal.
Yeah. So here now, see Huda, I will solve this to get it. Okay, it's the same idea as the previous one. If you didn't understand it too, tell me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, look at this one here. Suppose that triangle WYS is congruent to the triangle MKV. So here I have now the first triangle WYS is congruent to the other triangle that's name is MKV. If you wrote it correctly, your solving will be correct. If it's not, the drawing is not correct, your answer is wrong. So please be careful about your first drawing here. Then after that, so suppose that the triangle, the WYS is congruent with MKV, and if the measure of angle W equal 62, and the measure of angle Y is 35. What is the measure of angle V? Look at me here. Here now, we have W and Y, and he asked me about angle V. But angle V, it is in the second shape. It's not in the first shape. So how can I solve it? Who can tell me?
Teacher, they are congruent, so
Okay, they are congruent. That's mean the measure.
suppose teacher.
Okay. Yes,
I mean,
please.
teacher, suppose. And if they give us what is angle S, the angle V will equal to angle S.
Thank you. Since he told me that they are congruent, so that's mean the angle W, the measure of angle W is equal to the measure of angle M. That's mean if W is 62, M it will be also, sorry. M M, it will be also 62. And also, the measure of angle Y is equal to the measure of angle K. So Y is 35. So what about K? It's also 35.
35.
30.
Now, look at my second triangle here. In the triangle, we have 3 angles, and 2 angles are known. Can I know the third angle now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, by
What is the
adding
summation of the triangle, of the angles in the triangle?
half base times by height.
No. The summation of the angles. If they are 180 or 360?
Teacher, didn't understand your question again.
Me too.
The summation
Yeah.
of the angles in triangle.
Ah,
Okay? Is it 180 or 360?
180.
180. Thank you.
180.
Thank you. In the triangle, it's 180. In the square, in the rectangle, on all the other shapes, it's 360. But on the triangle, it's only 180. Then after that, let's now, how can I know now the unknown angle? By, I will say, measure of angle M plus measure of angle T plus measure of angle V is equal to 180. I will add all the angles. The first angle with the second angle with the third angle. Then after that, what is the measure of angle M? It is 62. And what is the measure of angle T? It's 35. And the measure of angle V is unknown.
Teacher, what is this T?
Sorry, it's K.
Okay.
It's K, not T. So now, 62. Then after that, I will say now.
So what is here the first thing you got? Yeah.
Then let's now see here. 62 plus 35 plus the measure of angle V is equal to 180. Let's continue it here now. 62 plus 35, 5 plus 2 is 7, 3 plus 6 is 9. So 97 plus the measure of angle V is equal 180. Then
minus 97 minus
thank
8.
you. Minus 97. Minus 97, it comes like an equation. So the measure of angle V is 10 minus 7 is 3. 17 minus 9 is 8. So the measure of angle V is 83. Is it clear now?
Yes, and of course, teacher, it will
Teacher,
be equal to angle S.
Excuse me, sorry.
What is M angle V?
Yeah, that's mean the measure of angle V. Okay, guys, I will stop here now because I have another class.